What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I'll be making a tutorial on how to speedrun Ed, Edd n Eddy The Misadventures for the PC, GameCube, PS2, and Xbox. So this game, in my opinion, is a pretty cool speed game, and since it was just featured in Summer Games Done Quick, I thought it's a really good time to make a tutorial for this game in case anyone wants to pick it up. So for this game, it's only going to be covering the any percent route, not all scams or 100%. I'll probably be making a tutorial later for those categories, but for now, this is only going to be covering any percent. So I'm going to assume that you've already played through the game casually. I would recommend that you would do that. And the reason I'm recommending you to play the game casually is because it gives you kind of an idea of how everything flows together through the levels, like what kind of objectives there are, how they're completed, how to use your eds, and it gets you used to movement and ed switching and all of that. So now, I might as well note I am playing on the PC version of the game, which is the fastest way to play this. The PC version saves about a minute over GameCube, which is the second best version. If you can only run on GameCube, that is totally fine. You can still get a really good time with GameCube, it's just going to hold you back a bit if you're going to go for anything less than like a 23 or a 22 because of the load times. But other than that, it's really not that much different. For the PC version, I'm not going to be going over like where you can get this. You can get this on Amazon and stuff, but there's some issues with DRM and stuff. But if you can get this version working, I would recommend running it. And if you're going to be running the PC version, I would recommend downloading Joy the Key, as well as my Xbox 360 controller config file for that if you want to use an Xbox controller with this game. Keyboard controls for this game is really clunky and it's really bad. And I would not recommend anyone playing this game with a keyboard and mouse under any circumstance. But yeah, if you have a DS4 or a Xbox One controller, I think Xbox One should work, but I'm not sure about that. And yeah, I think that's just about it for the beginner, like before I get into the game kind of thing. And if you have any questions about the tutorial or anything I'm talking about, feel free to let me know in the comments or on Twitter or something. I'd be glad to help anyone who's having trouble understanding something with this game. In my opinion, this game is pretty straightforward, but the skips can be a bit tricky to master. And I will be going into those as I come across them. Gonna be loading up a new game. You can make a save file if you want. I recommend doing it on your first run through, so you can have a file to practice on. This is my file right here. It's going to be 42% complete, and it has all the scams unlocked and everything. And I would recommend making one of your own. But if you're going to be doing a run, and you already have like a practice file, go ahead and select continue without saving. And timing's not going to be beginning here. It's kind of a long story, but the timing begins after these two cutscenes. You're going to get a load screen, then this cutscene, then another load screen, and timing begins once you press enter to skip this dialog box. So this is scam 1, the first of 6 scams in any percent, and our mission right now is to collect 5 ice cubes so we can go inside Rolf's ranch and get into his meatball machine. And to do this, we're primarily using the Batteret. You're going to be thrown in right away with your abilities. And it's a pretty easy scam. There's a little bit of RNG, but overall it's really not that bad. Also, something I should note, I am going to be teaching you the fastest way to do each level. There are some backup strats, I might go over those, but I'm going to be teaching you the fastest way to complete this game. But yeah, if I need to show off a backup strat, I'll probably do that. But yeah, okay. So we're going to press enter here, and as you can see, we're spawned in as Eddy. Going to want to switch over to Ed, and summon them over for the ability. Spam on this cutscene, run forward, and get that ice cube. Sometimes if you're playing on GameCube, the game will lag here, and you will not get the ice cube. So I would recommend, in that case, just stopping the Batteret and then grabbing the ice cube. On a batter head, make a hard right here. Be sure not to bonk into this table right here when you get the ice cube. When you hit the table, or you hit the ice cube container, it's gonna like fly up into the air most of the time. And you're gonna want to like position yourself right about here so it can just fall right on you. After that, batter head into here, and then we are gonna be doing our next challenge here. So here is where it's a minor version difference. If you're playing on GameCube, the cat will always be in the little corner near that like trash can. But on PC, he can be like anywhere in the yard. As you can see, he's like running towards the chicken and the squirrel. And ideally, you'd want him to be running like towards on the fence, like towards the opening in the gate right there. I want a batter head, get the cat. Be very careful not to get this squirrel. And as you can see, he is chasing me, but he's not going to get me because he's too far away. And right about here at the edge of the gate, throw the cat and you will get this cutscene right here. You can't skip this cutscene, you just have to watch it.
Nice doggy.
Here the squirrel, don't worry about the squirrel, it's not going to get you, it's like trapped in there. Do not batter head. Okay, here's a good thing to point out. Do not throw the cat onto the ice cube thing. If you throw the cat onto the ice cube thing and it breaks, the ice cube's probably going to be going flying across the yard. Which is kind of a big time loss depending on how far away it is. So just run up to it, smash it with your head, and get yourself under it so it lands on top of you. Batter it on here. Stop right before that cutscene. As you hit this part of the tree with the batter head, press the cancel button on your controller, and you should be able to skip that cutscene. Jump up here with double D. And this is kind of a tricky part right here, especially for beginners. I had a lot of trouble with this myself. You need to take down these 3 dolls right here. And the way you want to do this is you want to position that little tick at the very bottom of your crosshair, right about where I have it. So it's like the top of that bottom crosshair is like in the middle. Move a little to the right. Position on the bunny. And then again on this doll. Skip that cutscene. Switch to Ed. And run over here and do the same thing you did with the cat cutscene. Just smash it open and position yourself under it. So now this is an RNG part right here. We have to throw 3 squirrels into the window here to get Jimmy and Sarah outside of their house so we can go inside, and all the squirrels positioning is RNG. There is a way to manipulate it, but right now that's not RTA viable. If it ever becomes RTA viable, I will make a follow-up video on that. But you're gonna want to batter it. Look for the closest squirrel. Make sure you're always scanning your surroundings. Throw it in the window. Quickly locate your next squirrel. Batter it into it. Pick it up. Throw it into the window. And as you can see, I'm looking around. I'm looking for squirrels. And that one is a good distance away. And now we're going to throw it into the window. You're going to get a cutscene right here. Just skip it. And then run in here is Ed. So now we have to throw this fridge at the door here. And as you can see, it's glowing green. You're going to want to pick it up. This can be a bit tricky. You will know when you're about to pick it up if the outline goes away. And you're going to want to throw it at an angle sort of like this. If you throw it head on, it will get in your way. And it will not be optimal. Throw it. As you can see, the door smashed open. The fridge is out of the way. And just batter it in the door. Hold hard right, as you can see. So you don't bonk into that little that hedge thing. Make sure you activate this trigger right here for the cutscene. And then immediately batter it into the wall for the pig pen. And now we have to throw the pigs into the pen. And on GameCube, this part is really consistent with their spawns, but on every other version, it can be entirely random. Just like the squirrels, it's RNG, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. On the GameCube, you can manipulate the pigs using your camera if you have the camera in their view. But you're going to want to do the same thing you did with the squirrels, just pick them up and run them back to the pen. And make sure that they actually go into the gate. if they don't go in all the way, it can be really annoying trying to fetch them all back. Stun, pick it up, throw it in, and now we're done with Scam 1. And I want to walk into the load zone here. And then activate on the meatball machine.
My, intriguing.
And now we're done with Scam 1. That is it. That's everything you need to know about Scam 1. Skip the cutscene, you're now back in the cul-de-sac, and as you can see, we have a little blue arrow pointing towards Scam 2. So in the next video, I'll be going over how to do Scam 2, and I will see you all in just a moment. Hey guys, welcome back. As you can see, we're about